Welcome to our tutorial about splines. We've talked about splines before, and we're going to take them up in a little more detail in this lesson. A spline creates a curve, which is called a non-uniform rational B-spline, or for short, a NURBS. In AutoCAD, we've got two types of splines. One type of spline has fit points, and the second type of spline uses control vertices. Let's learn about the differences between these two spline types. I'm going to start with a rectangle. Something like this. Here's the spline subtool, Spline Fit, and Spline CV, Control Vertices. Let's select Spline Fit. AutoCAD prompts us for the first spline point. We can left-click in model space to make a selection or enter coordinates manually. I'm going to snap my spline points to the corners of my rectangle. Notice that as I move the mouse, the curvature of the entire spline changes. And this is what lets us create a more smooth, organic shape. Let's enter my next point. And let's close the spline. Right-click, close. Okay, let's try a Control Vertices spline through the same points. We activate the Spline CV tool, select our first point, second point, point number 3 down here, point number 4 over here, and let's right-click and select Close. As you can see, the two splines are significantly different. Let's hide our rectangle. I'll select it, then right-click and scroll up to Isolate. Hide Object. To edit the spline, we first select it. The spline points appear as well as a handle. Let's select the handle. We can show fit points and show the control vertices. The fit points are currently selected. That's why we see the 4 points the spline goes through. Let's try the control vertices option. And they appear right here. Let's restore the fit points. Let me mouse over one of the fit points. 3 options appear: stretch, add, or remove fit point. Let's stretch this fit point, and now we can readjust. Select a new location for this fit point. Let's undo that. Now let's add a fit point. Just left-click to place the new point. And let's undo. Let's try the third option now, remove fit point. And let's undo that now. Now let's see how the spline with control vertices works. We're going to select it. The control vertices go through the rectangle corners. Mouse over this grip to show the fit points instead. To restore the control vertices, when I mouse over the control vertex, you'll see some options, most of which look familiar. Let's try the stretch vertex option. Left-click to reposition. Undo. Select the spline. Hover over the control vertex. Let's add a vertex now. Left-click to place a new vertex. Undo. Select the spline. Hover over the control vertex. And let's remove this vertex. Undo. Now let's try that last option, Refine Vertices. This tool works a little differently than the Add Vertex option. When I select Refine Vertices, the shape of the spline stays the same, but an extra control vertex is now in place. Let's refine even further. This allows me to control the shape of the spline much more precisely. Let's click Undo. Our original spline is restored. Let me bring back the rectangle. End Object Isolation. Select the rectangle. Properties. Let's change the color to red. Let's expand the Modify panel flyout and select the Edit Polyline command. Now select our rectangle. Right-click, scroll down and select Fit. Just to see the difference. When I try to control my profile, I've got more limitations than if I were using a spline. And this concludes our tutorial about creating splines.